Today, we are diving into one of the world's most fascinating and long-lasting social structures, the Somali Clan System. It's a framework that, for literally centuries, has defined everything from identity to politics in the Horn of Africa. So let's just start with a huge question right off the bat. How does a society hold itself together? Resolve conflicts, create order, and just plain survive for hundreds of years, often without anything close to a central government? Well, for the Somali people, the answer is found in the incredible system we're about to unpack. All right, to really get a grip on what this system means today, we have to go back, way back, because this isn't some modern idea. It's a truly ancient framework that has been the bedrock of Somali life for as long as anyone can remember. Think about it. This is one of the oldest social structures still functioning in the entire region. Its roots run so deep, they predate modern countries and borders by a long, long shot. For centuries, this was the primary way society was organized, period. Now here's the absolute key to understanding how it all works. The entire system is patrilineal. So what on earth does that mean? It's simple, really. Your ancestry, your identity, who you are, it's all traced through your father's line. These genealogies, often passed down orally, are incredibly important because they connect everyone back to a common ancestor, creating this powerful, unbreakable bond. And this huge, sprawling network of families and ancestors, it eventually organizes itself into just five major groups. And here they are. These are the big five clan families, the main branches of the Somali family tree. You got the Darod, the Hawiye, the Xeer, the Isaaq, and the Rahanweyn, who you might also hear called the Digital Marifle. Pretty much every Somali clan traces its lineage back to one of these groups. And what's so smart about this is how these clans spread out. It wasn't just random. Different groups settled in different parts of the Somali Peninsula and adapted to what the land offered. Some became nomadic pastoralists, some became farmers in the river valleys, and others became traders on the coast. This balance wasn't an accident. It was a key strategy for survival. So if clans gave people their identity, how did they keep the peace? How did they create order and govern? The answer lies in this really unique and sophisticated legal system, a traditional system called Xeer. This system is Xeer, but don't think of it like some dusty old law book. It was much more than that. It was a dynamic legal process run by clan elders, and it was all about negotiation and reaching a consensus. This is how Somali society governed itself for centuries without needing a king or a parliament. So how did it actually play out? Well, it was a pretty clear process. Let's say a dispute breaks out over grazing rights. First, the elders from the involved groups would get together. They'd then apply the principles of Xeer, these unwritten laws passed down for generations. The goal wasn't for one side to win, it was for everyone to agree on a solution. And once that consensus was reached, the whole community was responsible for making sure it was honored. And a really powerful example of this in action is the concept of Diya. Diya is basically blood compensation. So if someone was injured or worse, killed, their clan was owed compensation by the offender's clan. And the point wasn't just punishment. It was about restoring balance to society and, crucially, stopping endless cycles of revenge before they could even start. Of course, you can imagine, a system this old doesn't just exist in a bubble. It's been pushed and pulled and totally transformed by some major historical forces over the centuries. This timeline really puts it all into perspective. Way back in the 7th century, the arrival of Islam blended with local traditions, adding ideas about justice and community. Then, bam, the late 19th century hits, and European colonial powers show up, and they start messing with the traditional power balances to make things easier for themselves. Fast forward to 1960, Somalia gets its independence, and there's this big push to create a national identity, something bigger than the clan. But then, in 1991, the government collapses, and suddenly, the clan system rushes back in to become the main source of security and structure for people. And it's really worth pausing on that colonial impact for a second, because by either not understanding or deliberately playing clans against each other, the colonial powers really did a lot of damage. They created new rivalries and messed up old balances. And a lot of people argue that this directly contributed to the political fragmentation that Somalia has struggled with ever since. So all that history brings us to today. What role does the clan system play in modern Somalia? Well, the short answer is it's really complicated, and it's at the center of a huge debate. You can really see the two sides of the coin here. On one hand, the clan is an absolutely vital source of stability. It's a social safety net where the state can't provide one. It keeps cultural traditions alive and offers real security on a local level. But, on the other hand, it brings up some really tough questions. How do you fit this system, based on heredity, into the idea of modern citizenship? How does it mesh with democratic principles like one person, one vote? And can you build national unity when clan identity is so strong? I think this quote just nails it. Somali clans are, quote, neither relics of the past nor obstacles by nature. In other words, they're not just something from a history book. They are living, breathing institutions. And more than anything, they're a testament to an incredible history of resilience and survival. And that leaves us with the central question facing Somalia today, the one that people are grappling with right now. This isn't just history, it's a living, ongoing conversation. How does a society balance this ancient, powerful source of identity with the needs of a modern nation-state? There are no easy answers, and that's exactly what makes this story so important to follow. Thanks for joining me.